So somebody sent me, I don't know what you call it, a DM that they got from a company that they were applying to. So I thought I'd read out what they said to this guy who's an aspiring developer. He has since gotten a job as a full developer. You're going to find this interesting because it'll give you insight into what employers may be looking for in terms of candidates. So let's get this into place. I blocked out the company name just in case there's some privacy issues here. So let me just read it and I'll give you my commentaries along the way. Watch, you shall learn about the job process here. Hi, M. His name was M something. Anyway, thanks for applying for the front-end engineer position at a company. I'd like to set up a 30-minute phone call with one of our engineers to learn more about you and also to give you an opportunity to learn about our company and what we do. Please click on the link to pick a time that is convenient for you. So of course I just blanked out the company name for the sake of privacy. One of the topics we'd like to cover, pay attention to this. One of the topics we'd like to cover is to discuss a project that you worked on recently that was particularly exciting, challenging, or rewarding. In particular, we're looking to learn about you, so the focus should be on your personal contributions. We'll dive into details about the challenges you faced and how you resolve them. If you have material that you'd like to share that would help us prepare to understand your project, that would be great too. We'll also go into more detail about what technology does, how we work as a business, about what technology does, how we work as a business, the culture, etc. You have an opportunity to ask any questions you might have as well. What to take away from this? As you can see in the letter from the hiring manager, they were very, very concerned about who the candidate it was or is. They're very concerned about their personality, how they handled things. Remember, they said at the top of the letter, he said, wanted to know to discuss projects which you worked on recently that was particularly exciting and challenging or rewarding. In particular, we're looking to learn about you. So the focus should be on your personal contributions. We'll dive into details about the challenges you face and how you resolve them. You see, they're very, very concerned about this person's personality. Will this person handle pressure and challenges? How will they handle pressure? What do they like to do? Like if you're hiring a developer, do you want to hire somebody who's bored of development or is frustrated by development, doesn't like development? Do you want to hire somebody who's finds certain development challenges fun and exciting, or you want somebody who thinks of it as a burden, right? They're largely looking at their candidates in terms of their psychology, how they think, how they react to situations. Ultimately, this is very telling in terms of what what employers are looking for in terms of the candidates. I've seen, for example, in my mentoring group, we have some very competent individuals who are competent in terms of code, but they have a hard time getting jobs because of all the other things that they have to have. Communication skills, good general soft skills, interpersonal skills, the ability to be assertive but in a proper way. All these soft skills, all these nebulous things a lot of people don't talk about. When I hear people say, I've been trying to get a job for a few years and I can build this, I can build that, that suggests to me that they might very likely have bad interpersonal skills or need to work on those things. This reminds me of what one of my mentors told me many years ago. He said, I'd rather hire an average person in terms of their abilities, who's easy to get along with and people like, and I like, rather than a hotshot who's a jerk. That's so true, because you can always train somebody up in technical skills. And when a company is hiring developers, especially junior positions, they assume that this person is going to need training in terms of how they actually do things at their company. So for example, you go to any company and they'll have different processes and procedures. Some will use React, some will use Angular, some will some might implement jQuery, some might implement a lot of vanilla JavaScript. Some people might not use a framework at all. Some will be on JavaScript, some will be on PHP, some people will be on Python, and so on and so forth. Even within the context of, let's say you're applying to PHP jobs, some will use one type of container versus another. One company might use Symfony, that's one framework. Another company might use Laravel. Another company might use CodeIgniter. You never know. The point being is that the technologies will shift in terms of what companies will use. But anybody who's got a good understanding of the fundamentals are not the basics. The basics are very preliminary basic stuff. Fundamentals include the basics, but a lot of other stuff as well. If you have a grasp of the fundamentals, if I'm hiring somebody and they have a good grasp of the fundamentals, they can be taught just about any technical skills. What you cannot teach, well, not very easily anyway, is good interpersonal skills, good soft skills. That's why in my mentoring program, links below, Uncle Steph, I include training specifically on the soft skills. And I have a full course on that as well, because I saw that this was desperately needed. Again, I've said it once and I'll say it again. I've said it many times before. The one thing that gets in people's way in terms of learning how to code and getting a job is not intellect. The vast majority of us are intellectually capable. The biggest problem people face is psychology issues, insecurities, bad interpersonal skills, lack of tenacity. These are all rooted in the same basic psychological elements that have to be worked on. Even when I was boxing, I wasn't a professional boxer, but I trained with one of the best boxers in Canada. I would say one of the best boxers in the world. He had an amateur record of 77-2. That means out of 79 fights, he won 77 fights. This guy was really good, and he taught me all kinds of subtleties about boxing and fighting that only somebody with his level of skill and capability could. And one of my breakthroughs with him when I was fighting is that when I was sparring, we do some pretty heavy duty sparring. When somebody would hit me, it would get me riled up after a certain point. One of my big breakthroughs is when I got punched in the face. I got punched and my nose broke, but I didn't react to it emotionally. I just flowed with the motion, broke my nose, blood spewing, kept fighting, finished the round. And it didn't affect me psychologically. And this was a huge breakthrough. It was a huge breakthrough. And the coach commented on it. I said, that was a huge breakthrough for you. It's like, if boxing had a ranking system, that's when I got my black belt. I was like, okay, I kept cool under pressure. Literally, my nose broke and I had a big S nose. I had to have surgery later on to fix it. Anyway, yeah, so going back to that interview, you can see if you read this, just read it a few times, it's not obvious to you. A lot of questions they're asking here have to do with psychology and personality rather than technical skill. Keep this in mind when you're going after jobs, you're getting into the job market. This is an important consideration. Hey guys, my name is Steph. Some people call me Uncle Steph. I am a developer mentor and freelance mentor. I have a mentoring program, BOOTCAMP. Everything I teach, by the way, is born out of personal experience. I would not have the gall, if you will, to teach something I don't know about. Like, I'm not going to teach you about brain surgery or how to change a tire on a car. Not my thing, not my bag. Everything I teach, whether it be the coding and the psychology and the project management, the client management and freelancing, entrepreneurship, all this stuff, it's all based out of personal experience. And so take a look below. If you wanted to discuss anything I discussed in this particular video or any other question you may have, put in the comments below. I may answer them. But if you want guaranteed answers, you check out my mentoring program. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.